Is magic affected by gravity? I actually don't know if I have an answer for this. Now, I always find questions like this a little bit tricky because gravity is real. That'll serve as a demonstration. Whereas magic is not, at least not D&D magic. If magic is gonna be real, it's probably gonna look more like physics than D&D spells. And a lot of the things that make gravity are all based on very basic principles of physics that magic violates. The most important one is the conservation of energy. Now, in the magic theory, we tried to kind of accommodate for this, in that the energy of magic is actually a response from the field, from the energy that you put in. It's kind of like if you had a ball and you pushed it up a little bit of a hill and then it fell down an even bigger slope. That's kind of the way that magic energy is working in D&D. So far now, let's assume that energy is conserved, even though this is like a bit of conjecture. Where the energy for that response comes from is going to be another day's topic, I'm afraid. So assuming that, let's look at a fun thought experiment from general relativity about how we can understand light being impacted by gravity. Let's say I have a ball and it's at some unit height 1 and it starts with a speed of 0. Lovely and simple. This is the Earth, so from gravity it'll be attracted down. When the ball falls to the Earth, it's going to gain some kinetic energy. If we do a little bit of magic, which is allowed in thought experiments, I'm afraid, we can take all the energy of this ball and turn it into a single photon. The energy of the photon is related to its frequency. And again, because it's magic, we take the ball, we turn it into a photon and we fire that straight up away from the gravitational source. If we perform a reverse magic trick and turn it back into the ball, the photon would have had to lose an amount of energy equal to that the ball gained when it fell. Or in other words, when the photon comes back into this massive form, it has to have the same amount of energy as the ball did in the beginning to preserve the conservation of energy. And if you want to look it up, we call this gravitational redshift, but don't worry about that for now. And I think we can apply the same argument to magic. If instead of a photon, we think of it as a magic spell and fire it into the air, by conservation of energy, it must lose some of that. And that will be because of gravity. And I think this leads us closer to answering one of the biggest questions of my magic theory. How fast is magic? But I'm going to talk about that another day. Have a lovely day, stay curious, and if that didn't make sense, shout to me in the comments, I'll do my best. Okay, thank you, bye!